Hey everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, of course, with my partner Abe Safa, also an agent with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. We're just coming at you again, one more week of Myrtle Beach real estate data. So Abe, things are always changing. I know we've got some, we're going to look at some numbers. But first of all, how are you doing, man? You keeping busy?
Yeah, doing well, real busy. I can't believe it's May is almost over.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
year just flying by.
Yeah, we're going to be at the mid-year. And by the way, for those of you, if you ever want to email Abe and I, it's my email is gregharrelson@gmail.com. Maybe we'll put it in the comments. Abe, what is your email address?
C21safa@gmail.com.
Okay. So if you ever want to email us and get on our list of sending reports, we do send out reports on the market. Love for you to email us and we'll make sure that you're getting those reports. But once we get into June, after June, we'll start working on a mid-year report for the Myrtle Beach real estate market, which a lot of people find those very helpful. Hey, Abe, before we get into the numbers, one of our agents, her name was Haley in Conway. She actually sent out a snapshot of a report from Trading Economics. It's a website that that kind of tracks a lot of the commodities. And one thing that I noticed in that report was that lumber prices have actually went down. And I just wanted to just touch on that before we get into the numbers, because I think one of the things that's been fueling a price increase, especially on new construction, is lumber prices have been rising so aggressively. It's kind of influenced or forced the builders to increase their prices on their homes, not only because they want to make more profit, but because lumber price has increased so much that they needed to offset those additional costs so they can continue to make a profit. So I know that you've seen a lot of that with me, right, Abe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I do not pretend to be a specialist on commodities. I feel confident in my conversations around real estate, but commodities, I am just not an economist. I really don't know much about it, but I can say that the chart that I saw showed about a 22% decrease in lumber costs within the last week. Is that going to continue? Don't know if that's going to continue, but it is a little bit of a reversal. At least it's not continuing to go up, 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 up. Maybe that has a lot to do with the supply chain and the people now going back to work, and it's just easier to get the product flowing. Who knows? But it's a good sign. Hopefully that trickles down to the pricing, and houses are a little bit more affordable. Abe, let's talk about the numbers. Let's get right into it.
Let's go right into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let me get ahead and share my screen real quick. Starting off with single family homes, as we always do. 74% of all single family homes right now are under contract. So a total of 4,529 out there on the market. 3,353 of those are under contract. So a very strong number. It continues to mind-boggling, but continues to go up every single week. But this is overall single family homes, new construction, and resale homes as well. When we look at resale homes, when we break that down, we actually it kind of flattened out this past week. Last time we looked at it, it was around 69.7, somewhere in that range. So it kind of took a little bit of a slide back. But that's an extremely strong number. We're still seeing multiple offers on just about every single home that we put on the market right now, and it's selling in a matter of days. I know you've had a couple of homes that have sold here recently and quick.
Yeah, I mean, we just put a house on the market in Conway yesterday, and it's got 5 offers on it already today. Yeah. And I bet you there's going to be a couple more offers by the end of the day.
No question. So that number, 68%, is an extremely strong number. And then when we look at day to day, when the homes hit the market, it's instant sale. New construction continues to go up. And these guys are they're out of inventory, Greg. I mean, 79%.
Yeah.
And again, this number is including to be built.
Yeah.
So as far as dirt that they have available to build homes on, they're running out. They're running out of homes. So that's an extremely strong number. They're up from last time we spoke. Last time was 73.5%. So a nice little jump. Now, here's something
73 and a half. Wow, that's a big jump. Yeah,
that
that's
was
a
a
big jump,
significant
actually.
jump. Yeah. So here's something that really caught my eye. So this week I wanted to break down condos a little bit differently, just because I wanted to really emphasize what's happening in the condo market right now. So for a while, single family homes have been going through the roof as far as prices. For the last, 4, 5, 6 years, we've seen a steady increase, steady appreciation in single family homes. When it comes to condos, it's kind of been lagging behind. And then when you look at condos, Greg, that are off the ocean, they've been much stronger than condos on the ocean front. So if I was going to put it into tiers, right, tier number one, as far as what's been hot, what's been selling quicker, and what's been appreciating, single family homes would be on top. Second thing would be condos that are on a golf course or off the ocean front. And then behind that would be oceanfront condos. So I broke down, these are just condos that are off the ocean front. Okay, 79.21% of every single condo on the market right now is under contract. That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay. That number,
that's not oceanfront.
That's not oceanfront. I took out the oceanfront numbers. So a little bit less than 300 condos on the market right now in the entire
for the most part, we could say, would it be accurate to say second row, third row, golf course, townhome condos that are not on any golf courses or whatnot? They're just more inland and whatnot. That's the kind of product that we're talking about. Like the River Oaks, South Bay Lakes, Marcliffe, Magnolia Place, condos like that.
Barefoot Resort. Yeah, anything that's not directly on the ocean. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So you see there's not a whole lot of inventory. We're talking less than 300 units in the entire MLS, right? So that's nothing. But I wanted to separate that number so people can see that. Like right now, I know there's condo owners out there that bought at the height of the market. They bought back and saw the prices just fall off a cliff. Okay, this could be a good time for you, depending on your scenario, to really revisit whether it's time to cash out of the unit or not, because we are seeing some good appreciation right now on these condos.
Yeah, I just wrote down a little note to do the research on this one condo that I have in off of Highway 707 in Blackmore. I own a condo over there. I just wrote a little note. I'm going to research it and see where the market is. It might be time for me to get that thing sold.
Yeah, absolutely. I just put a condo in Jasmine Lakes on the market. They've been slowly creeping up. It wasn't too long ago they were selling for 120 or 130. Now the comps are somewhere in the 150, 155 range. Put it on the market at 164.9. Got multiple offers on it on the first day.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much demand out there for condos right now, and there's very little supply. So that's an important thing to look at. So anybody out there with a condo right now, just give us a call. Again, there's no commitment. You don't have to sell, but at least have an idea what's happening, because I think you'll be surprised on what kind of change has happened in the last 3 months or so.
Yeah.
And then let's look on the ocean front. So even that's slightly improving. 53.4% of all oceanfront condos on the market right now under contract. So roughly 500 units. And again, this stretches the entire Grand Strand all the way from Little River all the way down to Pawleys. So this is every single condo that's on the ocean. We're looking at about 500 units on the market right now. More than half of the inventory is under contract. And then in certain pockets of those, we're seeing some appreciation. If you've got a condo in North Myrtle Beach, one of those low rises, mid rises, we're seeing some appreciation in those buildings. So most condo buildings are doing well right now. Yeah. And then we look at land. It's kind of been consistent. 25.5% of all the land right now on the contract that's out there.
Yeah, that number's been fairly flat, it looks like. It took a while for it to go over 20, but once it got over 20, it's just been kind of hovering in this. There doesn't seem to be a lot of volatility. And I know that two things. Not only are building supplies going up, but it's hard to find a builder right this moment. It's hard to find a builder that will. I asked the builder yesterday whether or not that he could actually build maybe 10 houses in a small little subdivision, and he says, even though he wanted to, he says, man, check back with me in January. I just got to complete all the things that I have because there's so many delays, and he just didn't want to take on more. So I'm sure there's a builder out there that will build, but the builders themselves are just, they're busting through the seams, and they're starting to be a little bit more reluctant on making new commitments.
And yeah, absolutely. So that's it for the numbers, Greg. So extremely strong. We're seeing appreciation pretty much across the board right now in the market. It is a great time to be a seller if anybody out there is considering.
Yeah.
So,
Before we get off, a lot of people have been asking me, like, Greg, how long is this market going to last like this? And my only answer that I can give is I really do not have an idea. I mean, it's just to try to predict would be reckless, and I don't want to do that as a real estate professional. I do not see any immediate shifts that's going to occur that's going to take the market down, because in order for that to happen, in my eyes, there's got to be a shift in inventory. And right now, if a lot of inventory came on the market today, it would be absorbed immediately. So, that means it could take a little bit of time. I think things that could make have an impact, interest rates. I don't have a clue what's going to happen with interest rates, but obviously, if we ever feel like interest rates could be creeping up in the next year, that can have an impact. There's no doubt about it. They're talking about tax credits for first-time home buyers, and maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. If the idea behind a tax credit is to stimulate more demand for with first-time home buyers, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to buy, because there's no inventory. So I just wish there was some sort of assistance in being able to make it easier to put inventory on the market. But how long is it going to last? We don't know. What you have to do is you have to just decide, what are your long-term plans? If you're thinking that you're probably not going to want to own property for the next 4 or 5 years, or the property that you have for the next 4 or 5 years, this may be an opportunity that in 4 years we look back and say, gosh, I wish I would have sold it in 2021. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but all things that go up, usually they do kind of adjust downward again. We just don't know when. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
We do get that question a lot. Do you think it'll keep going up? It's so hard to predict. Just like you said, there's so many variables. We're paying attention to interest rates. If that creeps up, that could slow things down. But then if we get that tax credit, that could speed things up, right? So we don't know which way it's going to go. So a lot of it, and then you've got the capital gains as well, right? So capital gains, if that's going to increase, which it looks like it's going to happen, right? That could all of a sudden we could see a flood of inventory towards the end of the year, or right before that happens. So there's just so many variables. A lot of it really depends on, like Greg said, what your plans are, whether this property or the property that you have is a long-term hold, or whether you just try to time the best time to get out of it. And that's a conversation worth having on a one-on-one basis. You can call either one of us. We'll be glad to talk with you and kind of advise you what we think might be the best option for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. Well, that's a wrap. Well, so there's our telephone numbers. Those are our direct cell numbers. Feel free to call us, text us. Again, I'm Greg Harrelson, and this is Abe Safa. We'd love to earn your business. And until then, we'll just continue providing you great information in hopes to help you understand the value and what's going on in the Myrtle Beach marketplace. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Abe.
Enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you all for watching.